Welcome to what I call the Connections edition. We're looking at anomalies I discovered at a new site north of Ross in the southern mid-latitudes of Mars in a region called Aonia Terra. And in this presentation I'll be presenting compelling evidence where we look at similarities between megalithic ruins and structures here on Earth. The high-rise photograph I analysed here is called Aonia Terra Crater Interior. What a poetic name for this high-rise photograph, which was acquired on the 7th of September 2007 at 24.8 centimeters per pixel resolution. And as always, I'm showing you images are cropped from the JP2 black and white map projected file, just under 1 gigabyte in size. And although this is a high-res photograph, it's quite blurry, so it breaks up quite a bit when I zoom in on the anomalies. But you can make out the details quite well. There's a look at the low-res black and white, and the anomalies I'll be showing you are some of these white specks that litter this region. So we have Ross down here at the bottom left, and the site we'll be analysing is up to the northeast, very close to Chrysokeras, which I featured recently. The site is located roughly at 53 degrees 11 minutes south, 101 degrees 50 minutes west. This piece measures about 8 meters in length, and it's got a strange design to it. Check out the rounded corners, well-defined edges, and then this part at the back with the rectangular design to it as well. And this over here seems to be a hole with this part sticking out of the one side. I wonder if this is a hatch type of design. It reminds me of this object that I featured recently in 3D render, strange structure in Kotka on Mars. And it's got the same size and shape. And also this part in the center. Check this out, folks. And there's an illustration that I did of that object, just to give you an idea of the size. The astronaut depicted there is about 2 meters tall. So we're looking at some type of craft. This L-shaped piece is about 6 meters long. Check out the right angle to it as well. Perfect right angle and straight edges to this block to the left. Then we have a uniform width to this object as well. And it reminds me of another L-shaped piece that I presented in some of the best evidence of megalithic blocks and ruins on Mars, and this piece is about the same size. Check out the 45-degree angle over here, folks. So what could this L-shaped piece be? It's definitely not a regular boulder or rock. Then we're looking at this item, perfect symmetry and geometry to this 5-sided piece, which is about 10 meters long. Check out the angles on this piece. And then it seems to be on top of a larger part, and this looks like it's part of it as well. I wonder if this is elevated off the surface and whether that there could be an opening. And there's a similar piece that I featured in part 2, the Sidonian Neolithic artists and builders of Mars. In this case, we have a 6-sided object. Perfect in symmetry and geometry as well. Let's zoom in on this circular pattern depicted on this piece. It's got like a disc shape to it as well, about 10 meters in diameter. On top of it, we've got these smaller parts arranged in a circular pattern around the center of that disc-shaped piece there. And it reminds me of Some other items are featured in the past. This is from traces of an ancient builder race found in our solar system. Also a circular pattern depicted over there, folks. And then over here too, got a strange arc-like design on that piece, and that's from geometric patterns spotted east of Green Crater. We're looking at triangular depictions. Check out this piece. It's about 8 meters wide, and it's got 3 smaller pieces on the top depicting a triangle. There's another part with a triangle depicted on it, about the same size. Check that out, folks. And the other depiction of a triangle right there. Check out the 3 parts arranged in a nice triangle. Then this structured item seems to have 3 smaller parts also arranged in a triangular pattern on top of it. Strange oval design to it as well. And then this piece sticking off the side looks like it's bent up metal. And there they are for comparison. Another triangular depiction I found. This is from Geometric Surface Feature in Aonia Terra. And here on Earth we find similar triangular depictions. This is from a megalith in the lost megalithic city of the Inca. And then more blocks with knobs or protrusions on them. And this is from a site in Peru. I know this is highly controversial, folks, but I think these triangles are depicting the Summer Triangle Asterism, consisting of Vega, Altair, and Deneb. Also, this type of design features quite often on Mars as well. Let's check that out. This piece is about 10 by 10 meters in size. We've got 3 small items in a row, and perpendicular to it we've got that rectangular part there. Similar pattern over here on this piece. Check out the 3 dark spots in a row, and perpendicular to it we've got that dark spot there. And these are other examples I've featured in the past. Check out this highly irregular surface feature with these 2 circular depressions, the same size and shape, a triangle right there in the middle, folks, and then these 2 smaller circular depressions going off at 90 degrees to that there. And this is from Anomalies southeast of Ionis Regio. 3 parts in a row, and the smaller one there at 90-degree angles to that. And another example, 3 in a row there, and this smaller part located 90 degrees to this row. And I featured this in part 3, the Sidonian Neolithic artists and builders of Mars. And again, I'm just showing examples of these knobs or protrusions that we find at megaliths down here on Earth as well. They look very similar, folks. I'm sure you agree. Check out the 3 in a row here. This is from the Cygnus star sign. 3 in a row there, and then the smaller parts over here at 90 degrees to that. So are we looking at a depiction of the Summer Triangle Asterism and the star sign of Cygnus? Then we're looking at the alignment of those small parts on that piece. There we've got 3 in a row, and here we've got 3 in a row as well. And it reminds me of the alignment of those protrusions or knobs on this piece. This is also very similar to it. This is from Blocks, Knobs and Geometric Patterns East of Zia Dorsa on Mars, Part 1. So there it is up close, folks. The arrangement of that smaller part on this piece is very strange as well. This part is about 12 meters across, and that part there reminds me of this arrangement. I featured this in strange geometric objects spotted south of Johannes Regio. Get the partial hexagon design on this piece as well. Also with the smaller part on the one side. There it is up close, and I'm sure you'll agree this looks highly irregular. Similar item over there, folks. Check out the conical feature in the center of this piece. Also, it seems to have a partial hexagon design. Here we have another small item in the center of that large piece. Check this out, folks. Here we'll check out these two parts. This piece is about 6 meters across, and it's got this small protrusion or knob in its center. This rectangular part also has a small knob or feature on the one side running through the center line there. And there they are for comparison. And again, check out the knobs or protrusions on the blocks that we find here on Earth. Let's zoom in on this interesting structured type of item. It's about 12 meters long. Get the rounded disc shape here at the back. Then the rectangular part sticking off the one side. And it looks like we have an opening over here, folks. Also a strange part there in the center of that disc at the back there. Another block with a small protrusion or knob on it. This piece is about 10 meters long. And then the customary knob or feature on it. Another one similar to it. This one's more in the center. Check out the straight edges and right angle there again. And then there's one on this lopsided block. Check this out, folks. It's more triangular, but also right there in the center. And there they are for comparison. And then once again, the comparison with the knobs or features on the blocks that we find at ruins down in South America. Here we're looking at another style, if I could call it that, of the smaller parts on the larger blocks. This block here is about 6 meters long, and parallel to the one side we've got this narrow rectangular part there. Two smaller rectangular parts on this block, which is about 10 meters long, and these are parallel with this one side. So there the two are for comparison. Next I'll be showing you two items that look very similar. This block or slab is about 12 meters wide. Check out the straight edges and right angles to it. Small part on the top, and it seems to have a small dark spot in its center. The slab located here is very similar in size and shape. Check this out, folks. 90-degree angle to it. And then this small L shape depicted on that block, parallel with the one side. And there those two items are for comparison. I'm sure you'll agree the shape and size are very similar, with the parts on the top The structured item is about 15 meters across. Check out the hollowed out or carved out area here. Got an L shape over there again, folks. 90-degree angles to these parts. The item over here looks like a partial hexagon again. It's about 15 meters across. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides visible. And then what looks like a rectangular opening on the top is parallel with this one side. Next up, we're looking at megalithic blocks. This one over here is about 6 meters long, and it's lying on top of what looks like a slab. Right angles to this part to the left as well. The block over here is about 14 meters long. Check out the straight edges to it. Similar angles over here. Check that out, folks. And there the two are for comparison. The narrow block over here is about 8 meters long. Check out the straight edges, parallel sides, and the right angles to it. Seems to have dark spots in a row running through the center over there. Similar item over here. This one's a bit longer. Check out the right angles to it. Let's zoom in on that part. I don't know how to classify this. It looks like a piece of sheet metal, or could it be a slab with the small knob or protrusion on the one side? Very similar to those that we find down in South America. So check that out. Some more symmetry going on in this piece, guys. It's about 14 meters long. Check this out. 90-degree angle there. And then the 45-degree angle to this piece. And it also seems to have protrusions or knobs on it. And again, look at the similarity going on there. What are the chances of all of these being made naturally in nature? This weird piece is about 14 meters long, and we've seen something similar in the past. Check out the rounded design to it, and then this part are featured in part 1, the Sidonian Neolithic artists and builders of Mars. This is more of a top view, where this is more of a side view. Check out the uniform thickness to this piece. And again, there's a similarity over there, folks. And then I found 2 of these. Let's zoom in on this part. It's about 10 meters wide. Look at the angles over here on this one side. And it also seems to be lying on a block. And there's another item very similar to it. Check out the angles to this piece. And then an interesting smaller part on the surface. And there the 2 are for comparison. Look at the shape. Very similar again. Are we looking at intelligent design and manufacture here, folks? The similar shape is uncanny. The long narrow parts on these 2 items is very interesting as well. Let's zoom in on that part. Check this out. Looks like this is mounted to this larger piece, and it's got a potential opening on this one side. Okay, let's shoot off to Aonia Terra, to the site we analyzed, Aonia Terra Crater Interior. And there's a brief look at the Anomalies once more. Those triangular depictions are weird, and we've seen those all over Mars. And it's fantastic that I found a similar piece to this. The curvature in that is just highly artificial. So what do you guys think? Are we looking at natural geology that produced these shapes, or are we looking at intelligently designed and manufactured parts of remnants of structures that blew apart in the distant past? We know that multiple catastrophes struck the surface of Mars, just like they did here on Earth in the distant past, about, between 8 and 10,000 years ago. Could it have happened to Mars as well? There we've got Ross, and then Chrysokeras over here to the left. Let's have a look at those anomalies again. Patterns going on here. And that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate your viewership and support. As always, let's have a chat in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think of my theory that we're looking at a possible link between ruins that we find on Earth and on Mars. Inca, Egyptian type of structures. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers for now.